Hello, welcome back to snowy Agraria. I'm David, and today we are going to look for animal tracks. It's going to be so much fun. First, we are going to find the tracks, we're going to look at them, and we're going to give you some tips and tricks so you can make some guesses to what kind of animal it might be. And you can figure out what they might have been doing, and even we're going to try to follow them to figure out where they might have gone. Then for an extension, we'll do some measuring, and you can figure out even more specific information about all the animals that you might find tracks of in your space.
Okay, so we are here out in our space at Agraria in the reforestation area, and we've come across the first set of tracks. Oh, I love it. If you look out, there are some footprints coming from down that path and coming this way and going around. So how do you know which way it's coming from and which way it's going? These are all questions, so let's get close. The first thing I'm noticing about this track is that it's not clearly defined. There's a lot of snow in it, and I can't see the footprint really clearly. But I do see that it looks like there's a little bit of an indentation of the paw or the foot going in. And on this one, you can kind of see some little footprints in there, little toes. And so it was going this way.
Okay, so how do we know that this is a cat track? Well, you can see in the back, it's got 3 bumps on the back of the foot. 1, 2, 3. And then in front, there are 4 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when we look in our book here, we see that our cat track has exactly what we're looking for. It's got the 3 bumps on the back of the foot. 1, 2, 3. And the 4 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says no claws showing because, of course, cats can retract their claws. And so cats might not have a claw print. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But dogs always will have a claw print. So that's one way you can tell them apart.
So we tracked the cat footprints. And as we were tracking the cat footprints, I found a coyote footprint. So let me show you the difference here. Right here is where we were seeing the cat footprints, and there they were going, and here's again, and it's about the size of like my front fingers. Now come on over here to the coyote footprint. It's a dog footprint. Now see, it's about the size of my fist, and you can see in there, here's the back pad, and 1, 2, 3, 4 footprints. There's a little bit of snow on top of it, but you see those claw marks and see how much bigger it is compared to the cat footprint? And then here's the next one, and the next one, and the next one going off into the woods. I could continue to track it too and see where it goes, even outside of my space if I'm allowed to go there. So get permission before you go onto someone else's land. Now, to tell the difference between a squirrel and a rabbit, which are some common animals that you might find in your backyard and in your space, is to look at the overall shape of the front feet and the back feet. What I like to do is I like to draw a shape around it. Goes there, and then down, and then over. And with this bounder, that shape kind of looks like a long, short. That would be a rectangle. And generally speaking, rabbits form rectangles. Okay, so I found a squirrel. So let me show you. Here's an example of the square pattern. So see, it's hopping towards that tree back there. Now look, if I draw a shape around this one, see how it's much more square with the back feet being bigger and the front 2 feet landing kind of in between or just a little bit in front of the back feet. So the back feet are pointing the way towards where it was headed. A hopper, the front feet land first, and then the back feet land in front of the front feet. So it looks a little bit like this. Boom. Okay, I'm getting down to the ground and looking close, and look what I found here. We've got small little tracks. You can kind of see here 1, 2, 3, and a back long claw, 3 by 1. And these little hoppings, most likely a bird. Here's a mystery track. So, oh, look at this. We've got tracks here, and then sort of these markings of the feet dragging to here, and then look, it goes through the fencing here, and then out the other side and through. What would be small enough to go through here? These sorts of mysteries are always the case for me when I'm outside looking. I don't always know the answer, and I too have to go look up in a book what it might be. I might measure and then go compare to what the book might tell me it is and make my best guess. I wonder if you can do that too. Now let's map some of our tracks. So choose one set of tracks that you want to map on your map, and let's choose those cat tracks, yeah? So let's see, where do we first find the cat tracks? It's kind of by the hackberry tree, right outside our office. So I'm gonna mark the tracks kind of back and forth like they were, around bone drumming stump of the west, around Osage orange smell. They walked by mulberry tree, and then they came down along this path back to the office. And now we'll label the tracks. So right by the start of it, we'll put cat tracks. Here we are at our extension. So get a ruler, and we're gonna measure some of the paw prints and the tracks. So what you can do is you could even have a nature notebook and draw what you're seeing, and then we'll measure from the top of one toe to the next top of the other footprint. So we're gonna measure in inches. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. So the stride, or from one footprint to the next, is 9.5. Now we could also do the width of just one paw or one footprint. It's about 1.5. Ooh, 5/8 of an inch. And then you could even do that with the length of the footprint, and that is 2 inches. So 1 5/8 by 2 inches. Now measure a track of yours. Measure one footprint width and length, and also the stride from one footprint top to the next top of the other footprint.